Here, let me go ahead and backtrack a little bit. What I meant to say is to undo addition by 5, I subtract 5. Okay, so there we go. Now, to write the equation, I'm going to be careful and make sure that I use the correct notation to communicate that I'm about to write the inverse equation, the undo. So I'm going to write g inverse of x is equal to the input x divided by 6, cube rooted, multiplied by 2, and subtracted by 5. This is what I claim the inverse machine is. So there, I'm done with C. Now in D, they're going to ask us, verify your equation in part C is correct. Okay, that it correctly undoes the effects of of this function. So up here, I have an equation. Let me copy it. So this is what I said g of x is. And then over here, I have the equation of the undo function that I claim undoes the effects of g of x. Okay, so the idea here is I'm going to pick a value for g as an input for g. Whatever the output is, I'm going to use that as the input for the next function. And it's basically the idea that I saw in the previous problem, in problem 3D. And I'll write it out, that if I have g of x, and I put x here, whatever comes out of that function is now the input for the next. I'll call that g inverse of x. What comes out of this function, if y is the input, then it should be the original x value that I started with for it to be a proper inverse. So that's the idea. So let me go ahead and test that. So I'm going to choose a value for x. I'll choose something small and easy to work with. So I'll say x is 1. So if x is 1, I get 6. Half of 6 is 3. 3 cubed is 24. 24 times 6. Okay, that's getting a little large. 24 times 6. 160. No, that's not right. Not 24. 27 times 6. That's it. 162. So the output for this function is 162. The output is now the input for the next function. So 162 is going in. So x equals 162. This was y equals. So let's see what comes out. What I expect is that the output will be 1. So let's see. 162 divided by 6. That's 27. The cube root of 27 is 3. 3 times 2, that's 6. 6 take away 5, that's 1. Notice how that's the original input that I started with. It took me all the way back. That's what an inverse function is supposed to do. It's supposed to undo the effects of the original function to take you back to where you started. So now that's the idea. This is how we find inverses. This is how we check them. Okay, so there you go. And problem 5, we're just going to go ahead and practice this